This is my buddy, the red-faced green iguana named Tabasco. He can be a little bit cantankerous when it comes to being cage defensive. But you could see he's my buddy. He loves pets. Me and him have a pretty interesting bond. I've been working with reptiles full-time for 35 years. And during that period of time, I've been bitten probably 100,000 times by snakes and other different animals, but I have never once been seriously injured, to the point where I haven't even one time been to the hospital for any bite that I've ever had any reptiles for over 35 years.
I salute you, elder citizen.
There you go, Perdita. Ah, you're such a beautiful girl. She is absolutely amazing, but as you can see from the bandage on my arm, yesterday I had a little lapse of judgment. What happened?
He got bit by Tabasco. Bad. Like probably 10, 15 stitches.
It's going to be a lot of stitches.
He got bit.
Do you want me to show you real quick?
Grey's Anatomy.
It's like bad. It's the worst injury I've ever had. I just opened up the cage and I turned around and it jumped out and grabbed me. I'm so sorry that I can't hang out with you.
Don't worry about it. We hope you're okay. Make sure they give you, I don't know, antibiotics.
So I just opened up Tabasco, and typically he's really docile to me. He doesn't like a lot of people, but he's also very territorial. I made a huge mistake, and this gives you an idea that even when you do reptiles for a long time, you can still make mistakes. What happened was I opened up the enclosure, and I kind of turned my weight, and he jumped out and he grabbed my arm right here. I'm going to show you guys really quick. For the faint of heart, you don't want to see this, okay? That is what it looks like right there. So, yeah. This is the first time in 35 years I'm going to get a stitch from a reptile. And I have a feeling I'm going to get quite a few stitches. I've never had it happen before. This is the very first time. You know, it happens, and I don't blame him. It was my fault. It's my mistake. I will have to pay the price for it, so I'm off to the hospital.
Take care of yourself. Thanks for everything.
I'm so sorry. It's great. I can't hang out.
You made their year.
And remember, I want to tell you guys, that was my fault. That was not the animal's fault.
100%.
Okay? Whenever you get hurt by an animal, it's always your fault, not the animal's fault. Right. It was aggressive towards everyone. Typically very docile to me. Went about things the wrong way, and then I got bit.
See real quick.
Oh, it's bad. It's
Beth, don't add to it.
Yeah, Beaumont, the Beaumont ER. It's a full trauma center. Let me get you some clean gauze. Put on that. Pressure on it.
okay. The other thing that makes me the most upset about this is that I love my gorilla tattoo. It's not going to look the same after this one. All that work on that tattoo, now it's going to have a huge scar, but off to the ER. Well, we're on our way to the hospital. You excited, Lori?
No.
I tell you, I just hate this part of it. You know, I'm pretty calm when it comes to getting injuries and stitches and all that other stuff. I just hate the fact that it's going to waste a couple hours of my day. I don't know how many stitches it's going to be. The worst part about it is that shot when they numb it. When they clean it too, they're going to clean it and numb it. It's going to be painful. The pain is starting to come now, whereas before, I think my adrenaline, it didn't feel any pain at all. I didn't really bleed that terribly much for such a big bite. We're about 10 minutes away from the hospital. Hopefully it'll go smooth, and I tell you what a day. Well, walking into the hospital now, so emergency, here I come. Getting a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. This is not gonna be fun. Been here for about an hour and a half, something like that. Finally made it into a room, so now we're just waiting on someone to come in and tell me what to do next. You know, I mean, how many stitches and whatever. So, yeah, here we go.
And then he opens it.
Oh!
That happened so fast.
Wow. That is crazy. Now my dad's in the hospital right now.
Getting stitches?
Yeah, this is the first ever injury where my father's had to get stitches from a reptile.
Which is crazy. Oh, look, Tabasco's out of his cage.
What? He's on the ground?
Tabasco's climbing down. So then he's gotta pick him
up
and put him back in with his
open arm.
All right, well, we're ready to start with the stitches. I'm all numbed up, which is, I think, the hardest part, to be honest with you. I have no idea. I'm going to say 27 stitches. I don't know if I'm even close, so I'm going to say 27. What do you think, Lori?
I think it's going to be a lot more.
A lot more? Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, when he showed me, it made me sick to my stomach.
Really?
It was bad.
It didn't make me sick, but it was really gruesome and juicy, and like literally he has tattoos on his arm, and like the tattoos was separated in half. Like it was just like no tattoo for a big old chunk, no tattoo for a big old chunk, and that whole arm's covered, so that's not
gorilla
good.
right there, right?
I don't know, man.
I think
it
that's
was
what
like
he said. It says gorilla's not gonna look the same.
They're not gonna line that up perfectly. There's no way they're gonna line that up perfectly.
It's possible.
So the end result was he had 17 stitches, so my guess of 27 was off by about 10. Kind of surprising. So when they stitch up an animal wound like this, they don't tighten it really tight because they want it to be able to seep so that any bacteria in there gets out and stuff like that. But all in all, yeah, the tattoo is going to look a little rough at the end, but it doesn't look nearly as bad as I thought it was going to look. Okay, we are out of here and back to the shop.
There's no way they're gonna line that tattoo up, right?
I don't know.
You don't know how bad it is?
No. I was on my lunch break.
It's kind of like this baby leaf a little bit.
Yeah,
Connie.
imagine this is the tattoo. Here's the gash.
Getting that,
like
Connie?
thumb width.
So let me walk you through what happened. You see Tabasco right here. He basically is here. He's saying, I'm going to protect my cage. And I've worked with this guy so much. Again, we have a great bond. This is the way you would go about this to do it the right way. Number one, always stay focused on Tabasco. I'm going to open with this arm here. I'm going to open this cage away from his head. And now he's going, all right, I get pets, right? Now this is where I made the mistake. Now, sorry, Tabasco, I've got to show what I actually did wrong. So the cage is like this. I was over here. First off, I was talking to someone. I should never be doing that. I should be focused on what I'm doing. That's how you don't get hurt when you're working with animals, especially reptiles or any animal for that matter. You focus on what you're doing. So instead of unlocking the cage, using this hand, safely get over to here where I'm protected, I did this. I opened the cage. I went like this. I actually was talking to somebody. Opened the cage like this. Now my arm is right in his face. He's thinking, I've got to protect my cage. Wham, he comes out, bites my arm. So I was distracted and I made a huge mistake. So there were two things that I did wrong. One was I wasn't paying attention to the animal. Secondly, I opened the cage like this, exposing my arm to him in cage defensive. Totally 100% my fault, not his fault.
And then there was another one down there. Yeah, there was two.
I think it was just the bite.
No, there was two. There was two wide open gashes. I'm not joking.
There you go, boom, boom. He just opened.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I think it was a top jaw, bottom jaw.
And this is a perfect example is when you're not on your A game or you're distracted, things can happen so fast. And remember, I say it is 100% my fault. When you get bit by an animal, you get attacked by an animal, you get injured by an animal, it is never the animal's fault. It's always our fault. We made a mistake. I made a mistake. If I would have done things the right way and had the right protocol and kept myself focused on what was going on with that animal, this would have never happened. So I don't want you to think that Tabasco is mean or he's aggressive or, oh my God, he should get put down. No, obviously, we're not going to take Tabasco out for customers because we know he's cage defensive. But for us working with him, we certainly can. He's a beautiful animal. I'm not mad at him. I actually feel bad. I feel bad that I messed up and made him bite me. And he probably, in some sense, kind of feels bad about it. It's my fault 100%. And every time I've ever been bitten, even though they've all been minor bites, it's always been a mistake that I have made. If I'm doing everything exactly to the protocol, I would never get bit, and same goes for you. If you continue to realize what each animal is and know the animal very well, there's no way you're ever going to get hurt. And that's why 35 years I always was safe. Even when I did get bit, it was never a bad bite because I knew what I was doing. This time I just laughed, judged it just for 1 second, and for 1 second I broke that streak of 35 years. Last injury days, 12,775. 0. And obviously, if it was a venomous snake or even a mildly venomous snake like a false water cobra here, this isn't going to happen because I'm going to be more in the moment, I'm going to be more focused, and I'm not going to have something like that happen. Really, I got complacent, right? And most of the time, I'm not complacent. Even working with Lucy or Salt or RJ, I'm always very, very intent on knowing that I'm not going to do something wrong. Unfortunately, I knew Tabasco was a little defensive, and somehow I let my guard down, and that's something I never, ever do. I never let my guard down when I'm working with animals because you never know what's going to happen. And that's why with all the years working with venomous snakes like king cobras and taipans and mambas, I've never even had a really close call, is because I'm so focused on not having a problem happen. This time, totally my lapse of judgment. I let my guard down for 1 second and I paid the price. Hey, baby. So this is one of the reasons why I tell people green iguanas really aren't pet animals. They're really amazing when they're babies, and it's crazy to think that hundreds of thousands of green iguanas have been sold, and they used to be like the pet lizard that everyone got when they first got into reptiles. The problem is that as they get older, in particular males, they get dominant, they get territorial, and they become cage defensive. So if you want an iguana, think about something like a cyclura, a Lewisii, like Tiana here, or Diddy or Dixie or Bella. Those are iguanas that you can work with that, yeah, they can certainly still bite. You have to be careful with them, but the truth is they're typically super docile and they don't get that defensiveness that they get. You see Diddy, he's an adult male. He's even fathered a clutch of eggs and still he's a puppy dog. I'm telling you, green iguanas, I love them and they are so beautiful and they're a great display, but they don't make good pets. You know, there's two things that bother me about this. One is the fact that I made a mistake and now I've ruined my 35 years of not getting stitches. And then the other thing is that I had a really cool gorilla tattoo right here that's pretty messed up from this scar here. So now my gorilla is going to be called Scarface. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, there's a playlist that you can watch all kinds of videos. You can also hit that subscription button. It would mean a lot to me. Also, hit that like button while you're down there. Have a wonderful day, Reptile Army. Remember,
he did a good job of not showing. Oh my God, he did just show them. He just showed them.